Hey guys, we're going to be saying bye-bye to the rhubarb. It's going to my family member's house where it can be taken care of. We have, in the end, figured out what it is and why my rhubarb doesn't want to thrive. And the reason is, rhubarb is not a potted plant. It does not like living in a pot. It wants room to thrive. So we're going to take my rhubarb, this one, and this one, over to my family's and let them be free, run wild, and enjoy itself. Alright guys, I will try to get a video when we're there of what the other rhubarbs look like that I brought there last year. Hello guys. So, the rhubarb is gone and at my family's, and I've got empty containers set in and ready to go. See that tomato plant right there in the white container? It's got such a shallow rooting system available to it that I'm going to move it all over to this one. I'm not going to mess with the roots. I'm not going to try to tear it apart and move I'm going to pull all of it up out of the container and right into there. And then here, I'm going to start with putting a bunch of shredded paper on the bottom. I'm going to have to come back for more. I'd tear apart camping supplies in order to get shredded paper because I'm almost all out of shredded paper. Yeah, I have to make more shredded paper. Alright guys, we're going to get more shredded paper in here and then we're going to start layering it, and then I'll bring you with for when I move. Like, I'm going to pick it up and plop it in. Alright, we'll be back guys. Hey guys, so I couldn't record anything when I brought my rhubarb to my family's house because it was raining and storming. I'm sure you've seen the video of that. A road trip where we fought a dragon. Boy, was that a rainy, cloudy, spotty day. But I got a bunch of rhubarb from my other plants. Then I also got a delivery from the rhubarb fairy. A friend of mine brought some over. So all together, I can't even, the camera doesn't do this bowl any justice whatsoever. This is one of those giant bowls. I weighed it with my kitchen scale. There is 12 pounds of rhubarb in here. So I added 6 cups of sugar and I've got it all coated. And I'm just going to let it sit. So this is what part of my rhubarb trip was all about. Part of it was this. The other part of the rhubarb came from the rhubarb fairy. Yay, rhubarb fairies. And then I helped get my rhubarb plants in the ground over at my family's house. And then next year I'll be getting and pulling lots of rhubarb from those plants that you saw here. And half of this comes from the rhubarb from my plants that I brought them last year. So for me, it's worth it to just stop trying to grow the rhubarb in the containers and bring them to my family members and bring home rhubarb every once in a while. I am going to take all 12 pounds of this. I'm going to show you guys how to make a bunch of different types of rhubarb. Alright guys, we'll see you later. Bye. Okay guys, here I have, and I'm going to be doing my pots a little back to Eden style, but a little differently than I was. Instead of layering, I mixed the dirt and the wood chips 50-50. I've still got the shredded paper on the bottom. And we're going to take this container over to the other container because this is where I mixed it. And the other container's in place. And we're going to mix this. Oh, see, this came out of my trees growing in my pile. So what I did was I took wood chips from the last of our wood chip pile, stuck it into the mulch and mixed them right there, and then dumped them into here. It's only half full because I can't lift anything more than that. And it's in my wagon. And then we're going to drag it over to where the tomato rhubarbs were, over by the tomato. And we're going to put this in that big container. We'll be back. And there we have it. I put the 50% dirt, 50% wood chips into the container. And what we're going to eventually do is move this tomato into here. But first I'm going to put a small layer of black dirt on top. And while we're at it, I wanted to show you this. Those are those volunteer squash plants that those birds planted for me. Remember they had stolen seeds out of my pots and then planted them. What I'm trying to do is train them all, move their leaves, have their leaves in different spots, yet stay close and try to stay on this try to stay on the wood chips. And I know for sure cucumbers, and I know for sure pumpkins, but there could be yellow squash also. The reason I know for sure, oh, this one here, let's see if I can zoom you in. There's a pickle right there, and that comes off of, I'm horrible with camera work, this one. Now I know the ends of them look kind of yellow and rough, but if you look at the new leaves, they're dark green. And that is proof of how the health of the plant is going. The ends down here. Also, it's starting to, I'm in this, there's bright sunlight coming on it. See how these are darker? But the sunlight is coming right here. So you can see the sun patch right there. It's lightening up these leaves, but these leaves are dark like these ones are and not yellow like that. Alright guys, we're going to get more of this going. We'll be back. And then we're going to take and put a small layer of the solid black dirt in on top of the layer of the 50-50 dirt and wood chips. And there we have it guys. The tomato plant is all moved in, of course. It was bent over when it was in there. So of course it's going to be bent over in here. I'm going to get a tie and tie it up so it stays upright, of course, because tomatoes like to bend. And for this one, I'm probably going to do the same thing that I did for this one, which is just a tree branch, because then it gives your tomatoes, see how the tomatoes are coming in and holding themselves on here, and they're starting to like twist their ways around the tree branch. And I think I'm going to do that for sure from now on with most of my videos. I have most of my videos, most of my tomatoes, because they really, I like the way that they support them more than tomato cages, or like with this one, just a rod, because then it gets above the rod. Yeah, you guys, look at the size of that tomato plant. I wonder if there's a way I can, I mean, look at this thing. This thing is as tall as I am. Look at that. I'm not sure if you can see it, but yeah, the tomato plant, 5'3", minus the pot. So it's probably, 4 foot something. But with the pot, the tomato plant is as tall as I am, and I'm 5'2.5". And that's that Amish tomato paste that I was growing in the house, and that's that Amish tomato paste that was the runt. And now it's the largest one. I mean, that is beautiful. And it's got a couple tomatoes, more than a couple. It's got, as you can see, a big bushel here. Tomatoes there, tomatoes there, tomatoes there, tomatoes there. I mean, this tomato plant that was the runt, see, I don't know why people underestimate the runts. every runt I've ever had of anything, dog, plant, anything, always tend to grow up to be some of the biggest anythings I see. So in this one, since this is empty, and this made me laugh when we went to transfer the tomato plant from here to here, and it didn't just make me laugh. I laughed and then felt sorry for the plant. The reason it came out of there so nicely is it was completely root bound in there. I think you can see the patterns in the dirt from where the roots, especially here on the bottom, this lighter compared to the dark mud, all this veining, that was the roots. The whole thing, poor thing, was root bound. And then when I set it in there, it relaxed and spread out, and it was very happy to be in there. So that is what has replaced the rhubarb there. And then what has replaced the rhubarb here is I filled this up with, you know, the mixture of dirt and wood chips all mixed together and layering on top of it. And I put my parsley in here, my big parsley plants, and then I tore off all the old dying stuff to give the parsley plants a chance to rejuvenate and pull them off. And then I just quote unquote chopped and dropped right into the pot all the old parsley, so all of that nutrients from the parsley can go right back into the soil and feed the parsley some more. There we have it. I'm going to be, as soon as this is done, filming this little clip here. I'm going to film a walk around because, as you can see, look at some of this. I mean, all the way down, everything has gone crazy. And then some stuff hasn't gone crazy. So we're going to do a full walk around and talk about that. But that's what happened with the rhubarb. The rhubarb went bye-bye. I relayered everything. And then I've planted my tomato basil over to there. Or Amish. Tomato paste. Tomato basil. Blah. Rough day. Had a long day already. Transplanted my Amish tomato over to there, and then planted parsley in there. Alright guys, thanks for coming along on this video. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below telling me what other things you'd like to see me plant and grow. And there's a look at the front bed. I'm just leaving it be to do what it does. Alright guys, thank you, and we'll see you in the next one. Remember, stay positive. Bye, guys.